Hey everybody, thanks for being here. This week we're in Northern California fishing the Sacramento River for beautiful rainbow trout. Brought to you by Corning Ford, Procure, Clackercraft, Yakima Bait, P-Line, Max Lure, Fishfield, Brad's Fishing, Arctic Fox Trolling Flies, Ole's Charters, Fishhawk Electronics, and Fishang Products. Now, if you want to learn how to catch more fish, stay tuned. I'm Justin Wolf, and this is Angler West Television. There's something mesmerizing about slowly drifting down a river holding extremely light tackle, anticipating the strike of a wild rainbow trout. The grab, the hook set, and the battle keep us coming back for more year after year. Today we're on the upper-lower Sacramento River, just a long cast from downtown Redding, California, with guides Forrest Brizendine and Neil Admundson. It's midwinter, so we'll launch the Magnum in late morning.
Yeah, today we're on the upper reaches of the Sacramento River. It is the end of January, just come off a high water event. River's finally about 6,000 CFS, so ought to be a good day. We're gonna work this bottom stretch first. There's a lot of spawning salmon down here, right here by Carter Creek as well. Should be a decent 8-bite right here. Well, salmon are super important to any river for the biomass, the insects, and the egg bite. It fattens up these trout a lot between them coming in and their spawn. So today, we're gonna do something we call Euro drifting. No bobber today, just egg patterns, soft eggs, hard beads, kind of the orange color of a salmon spawn there. We are tight lining the whole time. So what we have down here is a nice little tungsten weight that I can adjust for different depth, different speed. Above that, we have a sighter. And what this sighter is, it's gonna act like our bobber in a way. It's a high vis line that we're able to gauge our depth, how low, how high we are on it. And the whole idea today is just to stay connected to these flies underneath of these eggs. And you see I'm keeping it tight just like that. I want to lead my flies down. I call it the prayer technique. My hands are up here adjusting, stripping if I need to, letting out a little bit. And if I feel them take it, that's just like you touched a hot stove. And it's all about cranking down this rod. These are 5-weight rods. They're 11 foot long, so you can really bend those things. They act like great shock absorbers if you're using 4-pound tippet or light stuff. In this case today, we got some turbidity in the water. We got a little green to it, so we're gonna run 6-pound to the eggs here. Got them pegged, got some BNR soft pegs, got some hard beads as well. 8 mils on some mosquito hooks, snelled. Should be good to go. So I put a black mark, a little Sharpie mark on my line right here. That tells me and my caster the correct amount of line that we have out on the first cast. If you were to cast out further than that, it'd almost be like side drifting. That's not what we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to stay right off the boat, almost at a 90. So when I have this correct amount of line out and I do my little lob cast, it's nothing like a fly cast. It's just a back, let it settle, lob it out. It hits the back, okay? And with the reason we want it to hit the back, it's gonna straighten out all your flies. And it gives you that perfect distance, just like that. We don't have to be too far. This 11-foot rod, we can reach out and touch somebody with it. So yeah, you're just gonna keep that. There may be times where I'm gonna have you have that black line out a little bit more,
okay,
or in a little bit, depending on how shallow and deep we are there.
Hey man, it just makes it easier for me. The salmon are spawning like Forrest stated earlier, but these fish key in on that, the little protein pellets. So it's just kind of nature's way of, in my opinion, the whole ecosystem doing it. But the trout are gorging themselves on salmon eggs.
It's one of the best protein sources they have to fatten up before they spawn, and don't eat and just worry about making babies. See, lead your flies, buddy.
Lead them.
Yep, up a little bit and just stay connected. There you go. Remember that set too is like you touch a hot stove. So if you set too hard, it's gonna rip it out.
Right.
Doesn't take much to button those things up. Right in here.
Now, are we letting it sink before we bring our rod tip up?
No. Immediately, I like to put my rod tip at that angle.
Okay.
A little higher up too, buddy. Don't go so deep. Yep.
Keep the cider up.
Yep, keep that cider
So we
up.
let it sink to the cider, and that's when we're stopping.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And you want to stay tight to it. Stay connected when you do let it sink. You're not giving it slack.
Copy that.
Lead it a little more, buddy. Good, right there. Just a bit. There he is. Got him. Bottom?
Bottom.
Nice thing about these power drifters, we can use the motor to get right back on up and hopefully unsnag it. There you are. Okay, I'm just going to start right up here and we'll continue down.
You strip or reel?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
If you're on the reel, then you go to the reel.
Okay.
Game time, contact. So speaking about that, Matt, here we're,
Yeah.
we're the fish's advocate here.
Here's an 18 to 20 incher to try and grab.
Fish steward. Don't try this at home, kids. Well done there, Mr. Neal.
Thank you, sir.
Nice bow.
Likewise.
That's a good old Sacramento red band bow there. Nice and easy. Not gonna hit the bridge. Keep it tight for me too, buddy. Oh yeah, nice bow. All right.
Good.
Nice bow right in the chopper. Soft bead. Beautiful rainbow there. Looks like a hen. Hit her back in. Whoosh. There you go. Good work, buddy.
That's awesome.
Welcome back to the Sacramento River. I'm Justin Wolf. The conditions are great and the trout are biting for Forrest Brizendine and Neil Admundson. Spawning salmon are providing much needed protein for the rainbows, so egg imitations presented naturally are the way to go.
Strip a little bit in. Right there. Good, good. Just a little bit. Perfect. This down here is called Acid Anderson Cottonwood Irrigation District. Right now they don't have the boards up, but in the summertime when water's needed, they put the boards up. There he is. Good one. They put the boards up, diverts water over there for all the ag land down to Cottonwood. Looks like a good one.
You betcha.
You betcha. So we got a little spot here, buddy, that we can only go down so far. So eventually I might get on that tiller or drop anchor and land the fish with no net. Once that big rock, you got him?
Yeah.
Okay. What egg did he eat today? Oh, we got a different eater. We got a hard bead eater. We got
at the bottom.
Yeah, that's the hard bead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is the soft bead still. Yeah. You're right. Okay, hold on, buddy. Just battle him. I'm going to drop anchor right here. Take your time.
I'm in no hurry. I've got no place to be but here.
There we go. Well done. Nice bend on the rod. Let's give that one crank tighter. 2 clicks. These reels, a lot of times they're full frame reels, so this thin line can't go through between the frame and the spool there.
This is just too much fun.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah.
You don't get to do this often.
No,
huh?
no.
You're usually watching.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even the ladies at the Safeway Deli were excited for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
So what are you doing? So I'm going fishing. They're like, oh, working today. I'm like, no.
No, I'm fishing.
I actually get to go fishing. I filled out my steel head card and everything.
Yep. Watch this now. Crank that rod all the way to the bank and watch him come in a little bit. All the way down to the water almost. The Big Dave technique.
The Big Dave technique.
The Big Dave technique.
He's mad now.
He's mad?
Yeah.
All right. Oh!
You win
What
some,
happened
you lose,
there?
You win some, you lose some.
Good job, buddy.
I grew up on a farm.
As one guy told me, he got a lot out of that fish.
That's right.
Yeah, first one ate the hard bead. Second one ate the soft. The reason I like these soft beads too, a lot of times is when the fish grabs them, that soft bead will slide and give with the fish a little bit and help it bring it down to the hook. Compared to the hard beads, the way I peg them, they're in there tight. So it's got to slip over their mouth and then get into the hook like that. I always like to snell my hooks as well. I like to go off eye to eye as well so I don't risk the integrity of my dropper off that bottom hook. Zip on up, come through that run again, see if we can't get a couple more trout. I love this chair. It's great. Yep, contact. Good job. Stay corked. Let him run. Nice. So hey, this is the big one here, buddy. Nice trout. Little juvie. Still got his par marks right in the chopper. You know, an average fish here, traditional every year, you're looking at, 17 to 20 inches used to be an average fish here. With this die-off that I feel like we had in 2024 with a high water event, a lot of the bigger ones have passed. So we've been catching a lot of fish in the 12 to 16 inch range, which most people know in this river, these fish are gonna grow at a higher rate. So it's a weird time right now where I believe we had a die-off due to high water, lack of biomass, eggs, and now these little guys are going to plumping up the next couple of years and maybe become that average 17 to 18, 20 inch fish that we usually get on the lower Sac. Contact. That's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. See how he's holding that rod up to you? You're utilizing the whole rod down to the cork there that way. Here he comes.
My arms are too short to reach.
Bottom egg. So he ate that hard bead or that soft bead.
That's the wax.
That's the wax and the new hook too.
Look at the color on that one.
She's a beaut, Clark. Oh yeah, that's how you do it with no net. I want to show you guys something too. If you look down here, you can see the slashings of the cut bow right there. There's some cut bow genetics in this river. Little buck. Let's get the pliers here. Try not to keep them out of the water too long. These trout are very stable brutes, but anyway. Well done. Lather, rinse, repeat, buddy.
Just like this.
Just like that.
We're going back to the Sacramento River, but first, here's your fish field tackle connection. Now today we're using fly tackle to fish beads for rainbow trout, which is extremely effective. Now Fishfield carries a great selection of all types of fly rods and reels and tackle and everything you need. But one thing in particular that I'd like to try for a reel is the Admundson Speedster. Now Fishfield carries the entire line of Admundson reels, which are made in Idaho and they're great quality. But the Speedster's got super fast pickup, and that sounds good to me. And also, while you're at fishfield.com, get yourself some airlock strike indicators. You'll be glad you did. Now, let's go back to the Sacramento River and see if we can't catch a few more rainbow trout. It's prime time for trout fishing on this section of the Sacramento River, but even if the flows increase or decrease, the bite can still be red hot.
Cool thing about this river, it fishes from 3,000 CFS up to legality-wise, we're allowed to fish it up to 40,000 CFS. It's not the funnest thing to do, but it is fishable.
Which is precisely why I became a clacker-craft owner this year.
Exactly.
I was rowing that stuff in a hard boat.
It's not the funnest.
And it's not fun. Got me a lighter, better rowing boat with a motor for them to do the same thing this year. I bought the Clacka Big Eddy 360. So
it's a beautiful boat.
I've got multiple knee surgeries. The simplicity of it for my anglers, my clients, some of my clients, you know, they were stepping over the benches of my old one. This one's got the walk around. It's been very, very nice.
And the cool thing about Clacka is you can call down there, you can get a hold of somebody, contact, and they're going to take care of you within the day. Whether you need a part or a question answered, it's really nice to get service like that over the phone.
From my first phone call to shaking hands with Jake was 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yep.
About what I wanted, all that stuff, and then drove up and got her round trip. It is a haul, but it's been worth it. My back and shoulders have been grateful.
Let a little more out now, buddy. We're gonna get a little higher of a tip here.
I gotta stop.
It's all right. The reason I like it higher is because when you go to grab, and if you're lower like this, your angle's kind of messed up for that hook set. It almost pulls it down and you're straight at them, compared to up here, you're already tight to it up vertical.
I don't know if you've noticed that when you tell me to give it line, I flick it like it's a fly line.
That's the biggest problem my guys have is we've casted regular fly lines for 20 years now, and then I introduced this to them, and there's a little muscle memory trying to roll cast it or overhand cast it. But once they get the whole hang of this, it's deadly. It's kind of nice not looking at a bobber.
And feeling the grab.
Feeling the grab. The tug is the drug.
How do you feel about this type of application in a river, say like the Smith River, or super rocky?
I think it is good. I think it's great because you're able to get down to them. That's the biggest problem with a regular 90-degree nymph and fly line, trying to get down to those river, the fish in the Smith, because it gets so clear. You got a little gunk on there.
Yeah, and it's notoriously snaggy.
It is.
Right?
Yes, it is.
So that's why I was wondering, like, dropping this stuff down in there, you feel confident doing that?
You do. Or a bobber dogging technique
Okay.
as well, because that will kind of keep you in the lane a little bit better compared to this. Sometimes it wants to come back at you. But if you got deep water and some turbidity in it, you can get right on top of them. I'm going to pull over a little bit, Neil, and we're going to put a little different hook on the bottom. Those last couple fish, I feel like they ate that hard bead, and that hook is pretty thick. So I feel like, you know, when you're trout fishing, those mosquito hooks, man,
Needle point.
they're needle point, baby. Slide the egg back down about. Steelhead I like about 3 fingers. Trout I like about 2 fingers roughly. And these bobber stops, these are clear drift bobber stops. I really like them. You can slide that egg kind of over. It's designed to go the opposite way, which you can, but this way it kind of hides a lot of that T-stop in there, just like that. We've been using the water-soluble stuff. I think I'm going to go with some of this wax. It's going to stay on there a little better. The water-soluble is great too. Doesn't impede your feathers or a fly if you have it. But this stuff, if you got something like this where you're not going to have a big feather combo, you can just put that BaitWaxx right on there. Just like that. Don't even have to put it on your fingers if you don't want. Really nice. Another thing too that guys think they have to put it on their thing, I like to put a little on my weight sometimes. You're giving a little
down your terminal tackle.
Exactly. You're giving a little scent trail too.
Welcome back to the Sacramento River. I'm Justin Wolf. We've been catching some great rainbows behind spawning salmon on the lower section near the ramp, but now we'll make a run upstream to deeper, more technical water. From here we can run nearly to Keswick Dam, but it's important to keep your eyes open for large submerged rocks.
Big old rocks underneath the water here. Start gotta really watch where you're going when you get this high up and higher. And then once we get down into those reds, we'll go to the right about where that tip of that bush is. It's going to be very shallow, and you're going to have those elevations of the reds, you know, 1 foot of water, 3 foot of water, 4 foot of water. Here, though, in the beginning, you'll be able to bury that cider.
Right along the bedrock here.
Yes, sir. I mean, this thing doesn't feel far off from my Max with no motor on it to be able to maneuver like this. This is pretty awesome. Okay, go for it. Excellent. Another thing we might do too, if we don't touch anything on this first pass, is we might throw a few bugs on, because they might not be keyed in on eggs here as much as they are down there, because you don't have as much digging and salmon spawning up here yet. This section will shut down April 1st. You're not allowed to fish from the Highway 44 bridge to the Keswick Dam from April 1st to August 1st. And be truthful, August has kind of opened. It's almost like a new trout opener now. There he is. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, it's all right.
Where'd it go?
You're good. You're in the water. Go ahead and strip it back up. Yep. That looked like a good one. Oh, little less. Yep. Make sure you a little less of a line out of your tip when you cast. There you go. Yeah.
Close.
Yeah. You'll have more guidance. So what I like to do is go back and let it settle, then fire. Yes. You get more
going upriver or straight across?
Straight out. You get more accuracy that way.
Okay.
Good. A little lower of a tip too, because that wind. There you go.
Trying to find out.
Money.
Mark.
Now strip it up a little bit. Right there. A little higher up now. It's tailing out now. There he is. That's a good one.
That's good.
Oh, is that a salmon?
I don't feel like a salmon.
It doesn't?
Unless it hits the motor. No.
That's a good trout then.
It's a big
Nice,
trout.
buddy. Contact. Wow. I called that a salmon? Nice work. Tuck my
That's how strong they are.
Tuck my oars in so I don't... Oh, we got a heartbeat eater. Got him. Oh, what a pretty trout. Look at those spots on this guy. Oh, that's pretty. Beautiful trout. So I put my T-stop on there after I snell or egg loop my hook here. Some of these beads do not have holes in them, so I like to use a threader that I use for my bobbin at home. You can use a needle. There's a bunch of different tools. Slip that over there, pull the egg on like a bobber stop, and I'll slide this down here to where this isn't exactly how it's meant to use. It's meant to flip around, but I like it like this because it tucks in that T-stop really nice, just like that. We use 8 mils here a lot. We'll use 10 mils for trout, you know, when we get some more turbidity, but a lot of times we're just using 8 mils or 6 mils. Steelhead fishing, obviously, we're going to bigger beads depending on the turbidity of the water. That shrimp was working pretty good. Shrimp. Don't need to touch it, just a few wipes. Goes a long ways.
It was just the softest take.
It is. The water being that cold, that was a soft take. The water being that cold, they're not going to move out far. Go right and low, right and low. Yep. Nice hen, right in the snout right there.
I hope you found today's episode valuable and it helps you catch more fish. And be sure to watch this episode again and hundreds of other episodes and helpful videos on the Angler West TV YouTube channel. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember, without our sponsors, there is no show, so please thank them when you can. Now get out there and do some great fishing.